Today, we're jumping headfirst into the world of the novel 2054. Now, this isn't a prediction. The authors are very clear it's a cautionary tale. Think of it as a massive warning bell about a future that could be barreling down on us, one shaped by runaway AI and some seriously deep political divides. We're going to use their ideas as a roadmap to explore what they call the Hypersynaptic Era. And that's an era where the real battlefield, well, it's not on land or sea anymore. It's inside the human mind itself.
Okay, so let's get right into it. The whole world of 2054 kicks off with this absolutely chilling mystery, one that completely redefines what we think of as conflict and power. And it all starts with this one question, a question that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction, but it is the absolute center of this near-future world.
So picture this. The year is 2054. The United States is still trying to pick up the pieces after a limited nuclear exchange with China a couple of decades back. The old political system, Democrats and Republicans, that's all gone, crumbled to dust, and the entire country is just teetering on a knife's edge.
And this is the moment it all just completely unravels. Right in the middle of a national address, the president, who seems perfectly healthy, just drops. The immediate response from the government isn't honesty, it's a cover-up. They literally alter the footage, trying to sell this story that he just stumbled. But, you can't hide a president's death for long. When the news finally gets out, any shred of trust is just shattered, and the country absolutely explodes into chaos.
So this crisis, it ignites a new American Civil War. But this isn't a war fought with tanks and trenches. No, this is something completely different. As we're about to see, it's a war fought over the very nature of reality itself, a battle for what's true versus what's completely made up.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because this slide breaks down the whole new political map. The old parties, gone. They've been replaced by these two new factions. On one side, you've got the truthers. They're this weird mix of old-school Democrats and Republicans, and they are deeply suspicious of tech. They are convinced the president was murdered. Then, on the other side, you have the dreamers. They're all in on technology and AI. They see it as America's only way forward, and they totally buy the government's story. It's a complete breakdown of a shared reality.
But you know what? All this political chaos, it's really just a symptom of something much, much bigger. Because underneath it all is this radical and frankly terrifying technological shift that's created a whole new kind of global arms race.
And that brings us to the core idea of this whole story, the hypersynaptic era. In this age, the most critical battleground isn't land, it's not the sea, it's not the air, it's inside you. We're talking about the biological architecture of your mind, your consciousness, your DNA. The very code of life has become the new frontier of war. Which brings us right back to how the president died. So the truth is, he was assassinated, but it wasn't with a bullet or a bomb. The weapon was a line of biological code delivered from a distance. It hacked his body's own cell regeneration process and forced a fatal growth on his heart. His own biology was literally turned against him.
And this quote just brilliantly lays out the stakes. One of the authors of the novel, a retired admiral, frames this tech competition exactly like the race to build the atomic bomb. He's basically saying that the geopolitical scramble for AI supremacy that's happening right now, that is this century's Manhattan Project.
Okay, so this whole new era of conflict is built on four massive technological pillars. First, you've got artificial general intelligence, or AGI. That software is so smart it can literally manage public opinion and predict our every move. Then there's remote gene editing, the same tech that killed the president, which turns our own biology into a programmable weapon. Third is quantum entanglement, which allows for things like uncrackable communication and even, get this, neural rejuvenation. And they all lead to the final ultimate prize, the singularity, the complete merger of machine and human consciousness. And as you can see, each one offers incredible power, but also carries a risk that could change what it means to be human forever.
So let's zoom in on that last pillar, the singularity, because it's really the true endgame of this whole hypersynaptic arms race. It's a concept that's been around for a while, but in the world of 2054, it's not a theory anymore. It's here. So the singularity is that moment in time where AI doesn't just match human intelligence, it blows past it and starts improving itself at a rate we can't even comprehend. And at that point, the line between biology and machine just dissolves. This isn't just about having smarter phones. It's about the very definition of humanity becoming something, well, something we might not even recognize.
When you break it down like this, you can see the logical and kind of terrifying path to get there. Step 1, you build an AGI that can think like a person. Step 2,
You give that AGI the unbelievable power of quantum computing. Step 3. With all that power, you master the ability to program biology itself. And the final step? You put it all together and merge human consciousness right into the machine.
So, this all feels pretty out there, right? A story set 30 years from now. But here's the critical question. Why should any of this speculative future matter to us today? What's the real connection between this fictional chaos and our world right now?
Well, because the authors themselves are shouting it from the rooftops. They are not trying to predict the future. They are trying to sound an alarm about the path we are already walking down. This isn't a prophecy, it's a warning bell, and they're begging us to look at where today's trends are headed.
And this is the most crucial takeaway. The foundations of 2054 aren't science fiction. They are being laid today. I mean, just look around. We have insane political polarization, where it feels like people are living in completely different realities. That's the truther versus dreamer dynamic playing out right now. The global race for AI dominance, that's not a future event. It's in the news every single day. We have real technologies like CRISPR that are making remote gene editing a real-life ethical nightmare. And maybe the biggest one of all, AI-powered misinformation is already making it hard to know what's real and what's fake. The themes in this novel aren't fiction. There are current events, just fast-forwarded a few years.
Which leaves us with one last, pretty provocative thought. This whole story is set 3 decades from now, but when you look at how fast technology is moving and how deep our divisions already are, you really have to ask yourself, are we so sure it's that far away? How close are we, right now, to the dawn of the hypersynaptic era?